All right, welcome back, guys. Want to go over database security with you. I'm just excited that this whole thing has kind of come together the way it has. I really am super excited to get your feedback and your comments down below if you've been watching it this far. And I would love to see some screenshots or maybe even some of your guys' videos on what you have built for your companies. Um, I think this is such a great tool, FileMaker, for automating little parts of your business and just kind of keeping you organized and really setting things up the way you want it to. I think there's a real connection with people in our industry, in the print, design, graphic, signage industries, and this software, because the layout tool is so similar to doing layouts in like Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw or something like that. So it really helps you get things set up just the way you want. Anyway, rambling a little bit, on to security. Security, or really, in this case, not crazy concerned about, at this level, at this small database, not crazy concerned about security as I am just knowing who is logged in, so that when we're making changes to the log and things like that, that we know who is doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to File, Manage, Security here. Okay. And every FileMaker database is going to have this FileMaker admin with full access. This is the first, and it's red because there's no password set. This is the first thing, or the first user that FileMaker creates for you. And if you close this database and open it up and don't do anything with the password, it's just always going to log you in as a full access admin. You can always edit it and change things. And so, that exists. So the first thing we're going to do is make it so that not just anybody can open this up and log in as a full access admin. And so I'm just going to set a password, and 1234 and 1234. Do not use that as your password, but I'm going to actually set that password. Now, something to keep in mind, if I click OK, okay, let's just see what that works. So account name, admin, and the password is 1234. Okay, verify. It would have been a really good idea to back this up before we do this. So I have this instance, or this copy, but let me go open up one of my backups. So, well, let's close this and see kind of what it does. Okay, that's just something. Force close FileMaker. Okay, so we have jobs. This is the one that we've been working on. And if I open this up now that admin user has a password, it's going to admin here, 1234. It's going to require that password to sign in. Okay. But if I go up and open up, say, one of my backups here that I've made, it just opens, right? Well, that's because this file, when I backed it up, there were no security settings set. This file, and if I back up every file after this, is going to have this setting. So one of the things you may want to do is, when you get a little more advanced with FileMaker, is when you're setting your admin password, you may want to change that from time to time. But you need to record your old passwords in case you need to get back into an old database at some point. It's good to know what that old password was, because you may need that old password to get into the admin side of that database. So back in jobs here, let me make sure I don't have two open. I don't. Okay, so I just have the jobs open, and File, Manage, Security. And this time, if I haven't logged in recently, it may ask me to re-log in as a full access, as an admin user. And so let's click New, and let's just create a new account here. And we're going to say this is Joe. Joe works at the shop. And his password is also 1234. Okay, and then I can require password change the next time Joe logs in, so he can set his own password, but I can tell him it's that. Now the the privilege set here, you can do things with these data entry only or full access. There's a little bit taboo on the security side. And if you've got any sort of like a shared database or anything like that, you put it on the server, you really don't want to do this kind of thing. But if it's, say, a small shop, it's you and 2 or 3 other people, and you trust these guys and you know what's going on, you may want to go ahead and just give everybody full access. It makes it super simple. But let's say we don't want to do that. Let's say we want to create a user that is something else. That's let's say they can add records and they can change things, but we don't want to give them the ability to delete anything, right? So let's go to new privilege set here, and then I can say, let's call this person a standard user. Okay. And the records here, we're going to say create and edit in all tables. Okay, so pretty simple. Now I can go into custom privileges and I can get down to the record level. I can, or the field level. I can say you can edit this field, but you can't edit that field. And you can create a new record, but you can't delete this. And you can, really go as deep and as complex as you want. But that's that. And then we don't want them changing layouts. So all view only, the value lists, we want them to view them. You don't want them changing the value lists. And we want them to be able to execute all scripts. So we've got these kinds of things. We can allow printing, exporting. We don't want them managing accounts or extended privileges. Data validation warnings, probably not allow them to do that. This doesn't apply until we're working with the server, and then allow the user to modify their own password. You almost always want to let the users do that, and you can force it to be changed at a record or on a regular interval. So anyway, this is kind of a user that can create and edit things, but they can't really go in and delete records. They can't delete a job out of the system. They'd have to set it to a status, like a canceled status or something that you'd create. They can't delete a customer, but they can modify that customer information. This is a pretty useful setup as a standard user. So create and edit in all tables. You want to make sure they can view all the layouts. They can't edit them. They can just view them. View all the value lists. Otherwise, when you do the drop down on the settings, it's just going to be empty if you don't allow them to view it at least. And then execute all scripts. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of leave. I don't think we need anything else. This is going deeper into FileMaker. And then let's go to just all menu commands. Okay. So we've got FileMaker file standard user for Joe. And his password again was 1234. So let's click OK. And let's close this. And then let's reopen. That works fine. Reopen here. Ignore the thing I'm doing. I'm sorry with the end file. Sometimes FileMaker gets hung up on my system. And so I've just created this little script that just forces it closed real fast. Anyway, now we're going to log in as Joe. Password 1234. Sign in. Old password 1234, new password 12345, 12345. Okay, don't use that as your password, obviously. And now, as I go in and I modify this, now I can go see the log, and you can see it's actually Joe that's changing it. So we'll go to follow up. You can see Joe change that. So really simple. You'll see if I go into manage as Joe, I can't change any of this stuff. I can't really get into the script workspace. I can't edit this layout. I can't do those kinds of things. So that's pretty useful. But I can go in and I can change this. Look at that. I can go change this to for a school. Right? I can modify all this stuff. I can change the customer, but I can't delete. I can create a new one, and I can do that. And that's the type of user that's most likely going to be using your database all the time. And then we can go in and create once. So I actually have to close this and then reopen as admin to add new users. But that's a useful user set. So I would definitely take advantage of that, set up that type of user group and give them those modification privileges. And Well, I'm rambling, but man, I've had a lot of fun setting this up for you guys. I really look forward to your feedback. And if there's any other questions you have, I'd love to answer them. I just wanted to get kind of a baseline of how do you set something up that's useful to run across one or two or three machines for a small sign shop. I really hope that is what you found this to be. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be creating more videos as we go along. So thank you again. Take care.